Hey guys, this is Kinu J from canadadarshan1000. Today's topic is if do not come to Canada if. And this if, I'm going to explain today what this if is. Canada is a dreamland for millions of people. People like to come to Canada. They like to move to Canada from all over the world for different reasons, for better education or for better life. The basics here of life is very, very, very high, and there are a lot of things which you don't get in other parts of the world, and those things are, you just get there. The people do respect each other. There's a value of human life. There are a lot of good things about Canada, and this is a dream country for lots of people. People want to come here to get their dignity, to get their good education, to have a better life. And I will be explaining some challenges which every person who's moving from any part of the world to Canada, they have to face those challenges. So unless you're prepared for those challenges, many people have to face face the defeat. They have to go back. They have to leave the country. They have to leave their projects in halfway because they just cannot cope up with all those things. So I will be talking about those risks, which are the factors. There are a lot of factors, but today I will be just talking about a few factors which really play important role for a newcomer or for a new person who's trying to come to Canada or who's coming to Canada to start a new life. Before we start that, I want you to please subscribe to my channel. Also press the bell icon button for further notifications. And I will start with the most important thing, which every immigrant or every person who moves to Canada and anybody who's new to Canada, they face. The number one big thing is the starting from the scratch. People are professional back home. They can be doctors, engineers, they have degrees, they have good jobs, they've left their jobs, and they want to come here. They get visa, they get the immigration, they like to come here. But sometimes their job is not waiting for them here. Some people come on job basis. Yes, for them the job is waiting for them. But for most people, job is not waiting. You have to come. Some people even have to study when they come here to be eligible to get that job here. Some formalities of Canadian government. So in that case, you have to study a little bit. You have to search for a job. So those all are the challenges. Someone's left behind a very established life. Say you had a 9-to-5 job, you had a good house built there, you had family there, and you had maybe very good life, very good style of life there. But now you come here to a different place. You have to start everything from a scratch. You have to get a place to live. It could be your friends, could be your family, or if you're on your own, you have to look for a place to live. That's the foremost thing. And then looking for a job, everything is a challenge. So always make sure and keep it in your mind, you are starting from a scratch, from zero. And it will take you time to find what you have come here for. And the second or the next important factor I would say is when person comes here, they're qualified, as I said, back home, but you have to wait here to get the same job, or you have to go to school to do a little bit of study to get qualified. So in that time, if you have some spare time, keep your minds open. Keep your mind open. Enhance your skills. What that means is try to go get some certifications. It's very important here to get certifications. So little certifications here and there, they will help you in your similar field, or even if you go out from your field and you are thinking that, oh, there are going to be a lot of jobs if I do a little course for a month or 2 months. So always keep in mind, keep your mind open to enhance your skills. and keep getting certification. You are more eligible for not only that job you are qualified from back home, also for other jobs which you got certification here. And the next important point I would say is you don't become rich very easy. So what that means is sometimes we have a notion, oh, we go to Canada, we go to North America, we go to Australia, any other countries, it's easy money. No, it's not easy money. And you are lucky if you are coming here to get the job right away. You start your job next day or in a week's time. Few people are very lucky that way. But the more money you make, the more taxes you have to pay to the government. So the higher the bracket of your income, the higher taxes you pay to the government. So it's not that you are making certain amount of money and all that money is going to come to your pocket. No, you have to pay some portion to the government for the tax. So the money, you don't become rich. That's you have to live with your expenses. You have to spend your money. Most money is on housing. That is the first thing, that you spend a lot of money on housing. The second is your communication, commuting. Commuting means your transportation, your car, or if you are going to bus it, or if you're going to use the metro, the train. So that's number two. And the third is your food, your groceries. And if you eat out, more money. If you cook at home, that's good. So all those expenses you have to keep in mind. If you're making certain amount of money, those you have to keep aside, and then on top of everything, then there is a tax. And the next point, which I think is very challenging for new immigrants, is people come here, they leave behind their friends and their families. Sometimes they cannot come as a family. So one person has to come, and they have to come here, work, make some money, and then they have to sponsor their families. So disconnecting from the family becomes a big risk. Some people get lonely. Some people are not used to the way of life. Some people are not used to the society, some culture differences, a lot of things. So you need to be prepared. If you're coming by yourself, you need to be strong enough to face all those challenges that you are prepared in mind. When you're prepared in mind, everything becomes easy. And you're lucky if you come with your family. Still, there are challenges. If you have small kids, you have to find place where your kids are going to be studying, or what age. A lot of new things you have to. It's like you're starting a new life, and you have to pay attention to every little thing which you were not used to, because way back home maybe everything was settled for you, but now you have to start from scratch, and those are the challenges. And the next factor, which I think is very important, if back home you are only used to working 9 to 5 job, you go to office in the morning, get dressed, get breakfast at home, there's someone cooking your breakfast, you go to office, you get your lunch, or you eat out, you come back home, there is a dinner made for you. If you're used to living that kind of life, you have to come here, and you have to sacrifice few things. Sacrificing means you work at workplace. Say you have 9 to 5 job here at workplace. So you work at workplace 9 to 5 job. You come home. If you came here by yourself, you have to cook, you have to do your laundry, you have to clean your place where you're living, you have to pay your own bills, you have to do everything by yourself. It's very expensive here to have a help, or have a servant, or have to hire someone who can come and help you to do your chores in the house. So you're making the same amount of money, and you also have to pay the same amount of money to someone who can come home and help you with your household chores. So keep in mind, if you are not that person who's used to working hard, or you were only working in office, you come back home and that life is your relaxed life. No, here it's not going to be like that. You have to do kind of a double work. You work at workplace and you come home, and then you have to work there as well. The next point is the weather. Weather is very challenging here in Canada. We all know the winter is very harsh. Almost 6 months of winter is really harsh. The temperatures can be dipped down from -20 to -40 degrees, depending. There's a lot of snow. You have to shovel your snow. If you have to start to work in the morning, you get out, you have to clean your car, you have to walk to the bus stop, you have to walk to the train station. Lots of challenges. And if you have not come from a place where the winter was not as harsh, it's gonna be very big challenge to adjust. So I would say adjust. And also, when we get out of the house, we have to wear layers of clothing. Sometimes people come from tropical countries, they just wear a shirt and a pant and you can go out. But in winter time here, almost for 6 months, you have to dress up in layers. So that is another big challenge. It will take time for you to adjust to that kind of winter life. And if someone is not dressed properly, people get sick, and then it's not a good scenario. The next important point would be try to be independent. If you try to be independent in doing things you do, as I mentioned, that you have to go to work, try to be independent, do your own stuff, try to do as much as you can. It brings the confidence to you, and also it'll bring a lot of challenges and a lot of open ideas in your mind, that you can just start new things or start thinking different ways. And if you're always looking for a help or looking for others to guide you, it's good that to get a guidance from other people, but at some point you have to be independent and you have to be strong to face everything. And the sooner it comes, the better it is for the person to get adopted to the culture and to the different way of life. The other important thing is that one needs to go out and start to mingle with the Canadian way of life. You have to go and talk to people, have some social life. Some people, some communities, we have seen that they only like to be among themselves. If there is a certain community living, they want to live around that community and they're happy there. There's no problem doing that. There's a lot of help. You speak the same language. There's the same culture. There is same food. So it's perfect. But at the same time, if you do not go out and approach the other communities, the Canadian people, you would, I think that we are not living a full life. So full life means we are missing out on so many things. Their festivities, their way of life, they always like it when the other community. It's a multicultural country. Canada is known for that. So we need to mingle, we need to make friends, we have to go out, make our life social, not only within our communities, but also to get out and be friends and learn more from Canadian people. The next point also is, as I mentioned, money is not easy. So you have to make sure the money you are making after spending all those money on your necessities, if you can save some money for future, or you are just living check to check. So that's very important. Sometimes it's a myth that, oh, okay, we are going to Canada, we are going to America, and the money is easy, or we will make money. Yes, we will make money, but it's very hard to make money. I have seen people, they work 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, and that becomes a challenge after some time because they cannot cope up. Their life is just the work. And the next important thing is that we need to get used to taking the risk. If someone is not a risk taker, if you think that you don't want to take any risk, you are okay the way it is, the life is easy here, and I don't want to take risk, I will just try. Trying is fine, but if you're going to spend so much money, you're going to waste so much of your time to get the immigration to come to a country. There are so many formalities. You're coming to Canada. You started, maybe it took you months. For some people, it take them years. And you also spent a lot of money, a lot of stress. And finally, you got the immigration. You're ready to move. If in your mind you think you're not a risk taker, do not come to Canada. So very, very important that you do take care of all those things. Life is beautiful here. Life is nice. There's so many opportunities here. People love Canadian way of life. People love Canadian culture. And Canadians are very polite people. There is a lot of respect for each other here. It's one of the best countries to live. But people, when are coming from other parts of the world to live here, sometimes we are misinformed by I would say by friends, sometimes by the family, or also social media plays a huge difference. You got to be prepared when coming to Canada, and make sure that you know all these factors. Even if you think that you are not going to be successful even in 3 or 4 of these factors I just mentioned, forget about Canada. I'm not discouraging you guys. This is a great country to live, but at the same time, after spending so much money, it's very heartbreaking to see someone did not adjust in the country. Someone is depressed, someone is getting sick, someone is homesick, they're missing their family, and they have to leave everything and go back. When they go back, they might not even get the same job which they had there before. So it can be a big challenge, it can be a big mess. So make sure you do your homework, and you know that if you are making a decision, you will live that decision. I hope you liked my video. Stay tuned for more to come. And please share my video, and bye for now. Thank you.